In a new interview, the ladies of Little Mix just opened up about everything, from their close bond to their recent successes to the extreme misogyny they've faced in the music industry over the past decade. Let's get into it. Fans know that Jesy Nelson left Little Mix in December 2020, but Jade Thirlwall, Perrie Edwards, and Leigh-Anne Pinnock are still going strong as a girl group of three. They recently announced their 2022 tour dates for their Confetti Tour, and they've teased some new music projects they're working on. Leigh-Anne, Jade, and Perrie also just appeared on the cover of Glamour UK for their March 2021 Women of the Year issue, and they look incredible. They discussed their sisterhood and how they've moved forward since Jesy's departure. Perrie brought up their number one song Sweet Melody, which has also become their longest charting single in the top 10 to date. She said, quote, "It was nice going into the new year as a three with the number one single." Perrie called the moment a good omen for their new chapter as a group of three. Leigh-Anne also added that while they heavily rely on one another in this new chapter, they also, quote, "want to help push each other to do our own thing too. It's like a new dawn of Little Mix." But Perrie, Leigh-Anne, and Jade have come a long way to get to where they are today. At one point during their Glamour interview, Jade reflected on all the success they've had since they started on X Factor. She said, quote, "We've shown that women standing together works, even with all the obstacles in our way. Right from the beginning, we were the dark horse on the X Factor, and no one expected us to do well." Jade continued on saying, "We persevered and got through it. We grew and became adult women together. It's impactful to show others that you can have longevity. You can break barriers, win awards, and break records on the back of sticking together and being a force of women." And Little Mix addressed that finding the kind of success they've found isn't always easy for women in the music industry. They talked about the deep roots of misogyny in the industry and how they continue to overcome it. Perrie said, "The first thing women in the industry get asked about is boyfriends." And Leigh-Anne and Jade agreed, saying, "God, it made me angry. We spent far too long being patronized, especially by men in the industry." Leigh-Anne went on about this topic saying, quote, "There have been times like with music labels where they've backed us into a corner and it is obviously mainly men. They see us as four women and don't take us seriously. We've had that for our whole career, even until recently." I'm asking, has much really changed? What has changed though is the confidence the little ladies of Mix have in speaking out on what they believe in. Perrie recalled a time when they called themselves feminists and how that was once seen as a negative thing, but they've stood their ground and remained true to themselves. Leigh-Anne chimed in saying, quote, "Someone really wise said to me, when the history books are written, what's going to be said next to your name? That is such an important quote because you know what we are using our voice for. It's inspiring people." And Jade agreed, saying that they've also learned how to set boundaries. She said, quote, "Learning to say no has been quite a big thing for us. For a long time, we were always scared of pissing people off, and you do get backed into a corner and it's like, well, if you don't do this, you can't have this." She continued on saying, "It's weird that it still happens, but then all of a sudden when that power is taken away from whoever's abusing it, you realize if I just say no more often and we stand together with that decision, it works." And Little Mix fans know that the girls have been putting those words into action for years now. Back in 2018, they decided to leave their label Psycho and set themselves free of the control Simon Cowell had over their group. Perrie looked back on this decision saying, quote, "We're a brand, but I think the difference is that we know we're a brand and we take advantage of that for our own benefit. We use it for us, not for other people." Leigh-Anne agreed, saying that leaving our label was a massive step for us. And we have loved watching Leigh-Anne, Jade, and Perrie grow and evolve into the women they are today. And of course, Jesy too. The girls of Little Mix are taking the music industry by storm, and we wouldn't have it any other way. So here's to many more years of Little Mix and these ladies breaking down barriers. And if you want more on Little Mix, click right over here for another clever video. Then be sure to let me know your thoughts on everything they shared in this interview in the comment section below. I'm your host, Susan Morad. You can find me on Instagram at Susan_Morad. I'll catch you later. Bye guys.